Okay, so let's talk a little bit about sunless tanning in the COVID age, because I have a feeling, and I don't know about you guys, but I had a feeling that people talk about new norms, and I don't want this to be the new normal, but health is really an extreme focus. Everybody is focused on being more healthful and being and more mindful. And in the process of it, a lot of our traditional ways of doing things have been completely changed. So I do want to have a little bit of disclosure here for you at first. So first off, I'm Melinda McHenry. I'm known as aesthetic professor in my industry, in my circles, because I am a licensed cosmetologist, esthetician, and I am a certified spray tan artist. And for the spray tan artists that are in the group that are not in the licensed beauty industry, I don't want you to feel that you're not inclusive, that I don't recognize your professionalism, because I totally do. I'm also currently right now, I have a training center that's called the Academy of Advanced Aesthetic Arts, and I do a lot of trainings there. And I know some of the people on this event are actually trainers. I own Bronson Beautiful, but I did want to let you know that this is being sponsored by Spraygon Spray Tan Extraction Systems. And so I'm going to be giving my shout out to them, to George Mack as we go through this. So bear with me, because this isn't a sponsored thing, so we do need to give them their recognition for sponsoring this meeting. So here we go. If you don't know who I am, you can kind of Google me. I've been in the beauty industry for about 34 years, and a lot of estheticians know who I am because I have a lot of training videos on the market. And this training videos that were, really out before online streaming was around. So some of the things I'm known for is, if you go to Aesthetic Video Source, that's right down here in this little corner down here, or videoshelf.com, you'll find a lot of training videos that I have been a technical writer and creator of. So I did a whole series on advanced chemical peels. There's 4 different ones out from that. I did a lot of I happen to love the body, and I love skin, and I love spray tanning. And so I did a lot of training videos on doing treatments in dry treatment rooms without having to have a wet shower. And ultimately, I also do a lot of microtoning and ultrasound and things like that. So I have those. And recently I was published in the Esthetician's Guide to Outstanding Aesthetics, which I'm going to give away a book at the end of this. And I've also now a contributing author to 4 different Milady textbooks. So that was some of the things that I got to do during COVID lockdown, was write for textbooks. So I've been around a long time, even though I might not be real famous or anything. I do try really hard to be a contributor to the industry. So before we go any further, I do want to give my shout out to Spraygon, and this is a little bit of information about Spraygon and who they are. Spraygon is the most powerful and effective spray tan extraction system available. Spraygon's antimicrobial, durable, and reusable filters capture the maximum amount of overspray to protect you and your client's health. Spraygon is customizable with many color choices or full color graphics to promote your brand. Lightweight, compact, portable, easy to clean and maintain, Spraygon is the last extraction system you will ever buy. Okay, so thank you guys for letting me share that with you. Whoops, we're going to move on. So now let's talk a little bit about sunless tanning in the COVID age, because I don't know how many of you guys have had a lot of challenges since you've gotten reopened, but I just kind of want to share some of my journey with you and some of the things that we're doing and some of the things you want to keep in mind to be able to increase your new client base and to really grow your business. So first off, any information that I share here with you, and anytime I do online education or any kind of education, I try to follow that Bruce Lee thinking, which is adapt what is useful, reject what's useless for you, add what is specifically your own, and move forward with that. And I really try to approach my business this way, to be as adaptive and flexible as possible and try to go with the flow, because I know that I can't change what's happening out there. What's happening out there is going to happen in the face of my my mindset. So I have to decide to adapt and adjust if I want to stay in business and be successful. And I know y'all have been trying to do that as well. So let's just look at a little bit of COVID facts. Now, all of these facts, of course, I'm getting from CDC. So again, none of these things are going to be political, but here's the reason I want to share this particular chart with you is that there's some exciting news about the COVID. Okay, first and foremost, its effect, and not that this is good news, but more overly, this terrible virus that we're all dealing with has impacted all of us. But the positive and the most good news about it is that there's a super high success rate of recovery. And really the sad news is that it's affecting our populations that are the most elderly. And so, so hi, Rhonda, I'm going to stop your video, Rhonda. Sorry about that. And so, but the positive news is that it's affecting younger people at a very different rate. So we're going to move past that. So really the bottom line is that for anyone really coming into from birth to about their late 60s, the recovery rate is right around 96 to 99.9% recovery rate. And that's something we need to celebrate, okay? So having said that, the reason COVID-19 got so crazy and scary for everybody was because it was one of these things that you could pass on without even having any symptoms. And unlike the flu, which has a very short shelf life, it's like 1 to 4 days for the flu, this one, you can walk around and be happy-go-lucky for 14 days, not even being asymptomatic before you could even show symptoms. And the other challenge with it is that it spreads quicker and it stays because it's not so readily seen. So the upside to it is that it's if you're an infected person, the average people that you come in contact with, only 2 to 2.5 of those people will become infected also. Now that's not a positive thing. I mean, but compare it to MERS or even SARS, which was, years and years back. It's less infectious, but more infectious than the flu or even H1N1. So those are the things that we want to keep in mind because it affects the respiratory health of the person who ends up, battling the COVID. So it spreads by droplets. We all know this. This isn't anything new I'm telling you, but it basically spreads by droplets. So you talk, you sing, you scream, you shout, and it survives on surfaces a little bit longer than the average flu virus or even bacteria and mold. And of course, we all know that bacteria, molds, infections are all easily transmitted just through our breathing it in, touching things, rubbing our eyes, sneezing in our, everything. So little kids are the worst. They touch the things. Thank God the little kids are the least likely to get this. So this is the biggest reason that we've been seeing this huge impact on wash your hands 20 seconds. Wear the masks if you're going to be around people who are vulnerable or have health issues, or you're going to be in areas where you can't kind of spread yourselves apart a little bit. And in our industry, we're up there in a space, whether it's a spray tan tent in the client's home, whether it's in your own studio, or whether you're traveling to do pageants or events. And if you're not touching your own clients by putting barrier creams on, you are still misting a product and you're breathing within one another. And we're also dealing with particulates. So COVID-19, I feel, has really got the public scared. And I think spray tanning in particular has been hurt very hard by it. And we're going to talk a little bit about why and what we can do to get those clients back in the chair. So always be mindful of your COVID-19 symptoms. And if you experience any things like, you got your coughing and fever and headaches, you're tired, you have the difficulty breathing, all of those little things that begin to start with just acquiring it, make sure you're quarantining. Make sure if your clients call you and tell you that, you get in there and get that disinfection and your clients contact, all those different things that we have to do. This is stuff we have to do now that we never used to. Your clients used to call you all the time and go, I can't come in, I got a flu. Or, I'm going to come in anyways. How many times do you guys have clients coming into your facility and saying things like, hey, guess what, you guys? I'm going to, your client lays down on your facial bed if you're an esthetician, and she's sneezing and coughing. Oh, it's just allergies. Well, now we don't even know. So now we're like, don't even come in. So we're like, if you think you're sick, stay home. And so that can really impact our bottom line, right? Because maybe somebody's just run down doesn't mean they're necessarily sick. Come on, little machine. Why is it doing that? Oops, here we go. All right, so, and then the other thing is now we all have to deal with the face coverings. Can we talk about face coverings? So we all have the masks on. A lot of us used to wear masks anyways when we're doing treatments. So this is not new for many of us just because we're exposing ourselves to overspray all day long. And so masking has been part of our job description. But for the clients, it's been a difficult thing. And let's face it, how are you going to do a spray tan with a mask on their face? How are you going to do a spray tan and then ask them to put the mask back on their face? So you're going to have to make some exceptions for your clients about whether or not you require them to mask up, okay? So my policy in my spa and salon is that when my clients come in, if they're coming in for a spray tan, wear the mask as you come into the door. But when you get into the room, take it off. And I respectfully request that they do not put it back on. If my clients in the waiting area are concerned about it, they can stay masked up. And if my clients are concerned, they can ask me to wear a mask. But I ask my clients too, you guys, I'm not kidding. If they don't want me to wear a mask, guess what? I'm not wearing the mask. I know I'm not COVID free. I don't have the symptoms. I don't have the temperatures. We're keeping things clean, sanitized, and sterilized. So I feel confident in saying that. And again, my clients sign a disclosure when they come into the spa, letting us know whether they've been exposed to COVID in the last 14 days. So those are things you're going to want to ask them. But there actually is, this is so funny every time I let somebody in, some good news. There's really good news about spray tanning. I bet you didn't know that. So I'm excited to tell you about this good news because despite all of the pandemic, and let's face it, salons and spas and in the service industry where we touch and nurture people, it's not built for pandemics. It's not built for social distancing. We're all about the love. So the good news in spray tanning is that it's still in the face of all of this, the fastest growing segment of the beauty industry. So let's talk a little bit about those sunless services and products and how fast and how on track they are to grow. So for example, pre-COVID, the sunless service industry and sunless products were on track to grow almost 6% according to Allurid Publishing and Transparency Marketing Research Corporation. Now, the reason this is important is because it was the fastest segment of the beauty industry, whether it was services or products or medical services. Of all of the beauty options that people have, the sunless services and products are still the fastest growing segment of it. And during COVID, even though it dropped a little bit, it is still on track to grow at 4.1%, which means that the estimated value by 2025 is at $5.5 billion of the beauty industry will be coming from your sunless services and products that you offer to your clients. That's a huge chunk of change, ladies and gents. So we want to keep that in mind because people want sunless services for all types of reasons. So the three biggest reasons that people wish to get sunless services are obviously it's events, right? When you have dance competitions and cheer competitions and weddings and fitness shows, and you have runway models, photog events for people who are doing photo shoots for magazines, and pageants. These are one of the biggest demands for sunless services. The second largest reason that people get sunless type services, whether it's the spray tans or using self tanners, is because they are either very sensitive to the sun or they have had skin cancer. And that's the second driving demand for these services. And the third and final is the wellness reasons. let's face it, you guys, everybody feels better when they got a little kiss of color on, right? You just want to knock the white right off of it. I know I started spray tanning. My clients wanted it because they didn't want to wear nylons and pantyhose anymore. Can you believe that? So when you have clients that, you know, want to have that color year round, it's Sunless is the first place that they go to. Also, I don't know how many of your clients tell you this, but don't we all feel a little bit slimmer with a tan on? You can thank Coco Chanel for that. That was 1928. She started all of that. So, and it also evens out uneven skin tones and skin imperfections. So for so many clients that have, even clients of color that have stretch marks or discolorations, cellulite, this really helps to give them a more evened out appearance. And it actually does give you some protection from the sun. Now, I will have people argue with me with this all day long, but if you understand the mechanisms of tanning, you will understand that as a tan is basically pigment that's basically creating a shell in your dead cells on the surface of your skin. And the thicker the level of the tan in those death cells, the more protection you have from UVB or the burning rays. I can personally tell you from my own experience that when I have a spray tan, I do not burn as fast. And normally, guess what? I don't tan, I stroke. So I go out in the sun and guess what? I just get all red, ready, and pink. I'm calling a paramedic, right? I'm putting on burn cream. But with the spray tans, it really does help with my sunscreens to keep me from burning quicker. Okay, moving on here. Here we go. So Sunless services for my professionals out here are studios, booths, and mobile. And the most important thing I can tell you about that, you guys, is that it is still not a regulated industry. But I can promise you with things like COVID, they are looking at regulating us very closely. So, you know, we all remember the Friends episode where Ross goes into the booth and he can't get it together. And this is his experience. And I don't know about you guys who own booths, but I know I've heard feedback from some of my clients that this is how it feels. They don't know when to turn. They don't know when to close their eyes. Once they figure it out, they love it. And then you have your studio pros where people come into the salons and spas and they jump in there and you know, you've got a technician that's, you know, distancing themselves and applying the product for them. And then you have your mobile spray tanners who have the laborious task of taking their equipment, their pop-up tents and everything else and going to someone's home. And so the bottom line is that we want to be mindful of respiratory health. This is something that I have not been seeing anyone in our industry talk about since I have been spray tanning in 2002. Is the bottom line is it's your respiratory health. And I can't tell you how many of my own colleagues that I know have given up spray tanning because they're tired of the brown boogies, they're breathing it in, they come home, it's everywhere. And this is the thing that drove them out of the business. Is it's one thing for you and I to go in and get a spray tan and stand there. It's another thing when you're the person doing 20 tans in a row. And I know a lot of you can testify to that. So we're going to talk about what you need to consider to protect respiratory health, not just for the client, but for you. Okay? So, come on, you, let me go. This is... I have no idea why it's doing this. We're going to go here. We're going to go to the next. Okay. So let's talk about Sunless in the age of COVID because it begins with solutions and then we go into overspray and extractions. And then we want to talk a little bit about our setting powders and what we need to know about filtration for particulates, because filtration for dry powder versus filtration for wet solutions. Okay. So let's start with our solutions because solutions are of a big concern for you because of the following reason. They're organic. Guess what? They're food for COVID. They're food for bacteria and they're food for molds. So the solutions that we currently use are DHA or erythrulose and color guides. All of them come from organic sources. So when people talk about chemical-free sunscreen or sun solutions, you know, the most chemicals you're going to get. Everything is chemistry and everything is chemical, but the most real chemicals you're going to get exposed to in terms of chemicals could be synthetic, preservatives and those types of things, or fragrances. But for the most part, your DHAs are going to come from sugar beets and sugar canes. Your erythrulose, which some people don't like, but other people love it because it actually dries the tan a little deeper. It creates a little more natural looking color to the tan, but that comes from red raspberry. So you should have no fear of it. And you can also find it from red algae. And your color guides are basically all food grade colorants. Your overspray systems themselves are designed to have proper removal to pull liquids and powders. And that's where we have our biggest challenges in the industry. Now, setting powders are new on the market, and they have created a whole new mess and a whole new problem for respiratory health for our spray tan technicians, because these challenges are, most of the powders that are on the market are all plant-based. But in addition to that, they are tiny fine particulate that tend to fly everywhere because they don't have any oils in them. They're designed to take the stickiness out of a spray tan. They're also designed to help with the odor and stop rub off on clothing. So that gives a whole new challenge for them. So how do we mitigate those challenges? So the first and most important thing I can tell you is that you really need to be very mindful of your surface sanitation. I know in the past I've known spray technicians that they flip their paper on the floor, and one person goes out and another person goes in, and they are spraying continuously. They are not stopping and cleaning surfaces in between clients. And that is something that you're going to find that you're going to have to a lot more time for with your clientele now. And by doing that adding that extra time takes money away from you. And you need to be mindful of that, because also the cost to keep it constantly surfaces cleaned with paper towels and topical sanitizers, that cost is going to also go up for you. And so you're going to want to factor that in on how you do your pricing and your positioning. So when you are working with these organic DHA solutions, you want to have a topical disinfectant that is EPA registered. And one of the best ones I have found has been Microban 24. You can spray that on and in between your clients, and you know it's going to continually disinfect the surface. So if you can't spray every single time between your clients, at least it's working in the background. It's also really important to have a very powerful overspray extraction system. And you're going to measure that by how much volume of air and pull is being filtered through the cubic feet in your room and the fan and all of those different things. I'm going to have someone come on here in a little bit and talk about what you want to look for in those extraction systems that are currently on the market. And then your filtration. You know, filters are super important. You want to look for filters that have antimicrobial properties to them. You also may want to layer up your filters so that the little tiny microscopic hard dry powders can be pulled in. So seek systems that have dual or triple, even triple filtration options. So organic, the reason those solutions need to be dry wiped at minimum before every client comes into the room is because they are organic. And guess what? That is food. That is food for bacteria and for molds and for viruses. And again, keep in mind, this is still an unregulated service that is being out there. Anybody can spray tan. You don't have to be licensed. You don't have to pass an OSHA exam. You don't have to register as a caregiver with it. So the reason I tell you that is because we as an industry practice the best possible standards. Guess what? They may not come in and regulate us because they'll see that we know what we're doing. All right, when it comes to extraction systems, I have found about 4 on the market right now, and what you're looking for when you're doing it is you're looking for that airflow rating. So cubic feet per minute, if you will. And so how much air is being pulled out of the system. So these are the big guns out there. And you can see as you go across these different airflow ratings that are available. Now, you decide with your specific space what you feel is best for you in terms of how much airflow that you need. I say the most you can get, the best. And so this is an apples to apples comparison. This really is. So and when I tell you that, it's because these all do the same thing. They're designed to extract overspray solution. So we're not knocking anybody here. I'm just telling you that these are what their real numbers are from their websites. Okay, we're going to go here one more time. So let's talk about filtration for respiratory health. All right. When we look at filters that are currently on the market, there are so many types of filters that are on there, and your basic ones that you see all the time are the HEPA filters, but they have very poor filtration when it comes to mold, dust, bacteria, all of those things, gases, odors, liquids, and everything else. Electrostatic has some things that are good. Ozone's obviously the best. UV's even better. And ionization is clearly even poor itself. So when you're looking for filters, we really recommend those PermaFlow rigid filters that also have, that are sprayed with the antimicrobial built into the system. So they're hard, they're sturdy, they're designed to attract liquid, they've got that static to them, and they also kill bacteria, and they don't allow bacteria, fungus, or mold spores or mildew or any other kind of contaminants to breed on those filters. That's so important, because guess what? If they can't breed when they're on the filters, they are not going to be making a bunch of odor. And they're very long lasting. You can rinse them after clients and hang them to dry, just hot soapy water, just hot water, and rinse them, and they'll hang up to dry, and they will continue to protect that filter because of their antimicrobial properties. So the next thing we want to talk about is what we all came here for, is to talk about what UVC is. So UVC is like really taking off. I don't know if you guys have been in a Home Depot lately, but you can go there and they have these little cases that you open up and you put your phones in them, and it exposes your phone to UVC, and it kills the bacteria and viruses on your own phone. UVC is not new. It's fairly new in terms of how we apply it in the beauty industry, but like right now, it's one of the fastest growing segments in the market for your furnaces. You can get UVC for them. You can get light sources for the air coming into your home. You can get UVC. Dyson has them, and they can just filter the air in your community. There's steamers, there's floor mops, there's everything with UVC in it, because they have discovered that UVC kills COVID. So how does it function? Because I know when we hear the term UVC, we automatically think sun, and that freaks everybody out. But what you have to understand is how the UVC wave is very different than the UVB and the UVA. So first off, the UVC is only between 200 and 280 nanometers in length. Guess what? That doesn't even hit the Earth's stratosphere. UVB itself will actually penetrate to about the first 10% of the Earth's surface, and then UVA short and long rays will penetrate all the way down to 20% of the Earth's crust. Now, why that's important to you is because then our industry, we look at UVB rays as your burning rays, and then we look at UVA as your aging rays. And there's been all kinds of talk and speculation that UVC is your cancer rays. Well, the truth of the matter is that is a misnomer, and that is a fib. In some medical and some sterile environments, they use UVC mercury pressure lamps, and those do emit an odor, and they emit a gas, and those are designed for very high industrial areas. And so they're not anything you or I could even get our hands on. And so those could, from the mercury, give you issues, but those, you can't even get those. So it's a myth that UVC is going to cause you cancer. All right. And how does UVC work? Well, basically what it does is it goes in and it attacks the microorganisms and the bacteria and the viruses and everything else. It breaks the DNA. It starts to degrade the DNA of those organisms, and it basically kills them. And so what's so exciting about that is that it doesn't take very long to do that. So it's super safe. It damages the DNA in harmful bacteria, molds, spores, fungi, viruses, and it renders them literally harmless. And UVC light can be used for everything. It can be used in water, air, and for surface disinfection. FDA has approved this with measurable results of 99.99% of reduction of bad pathogens within 10 seconds of exposure from UVC. So it's a very exciting time for us in the spray tan industry, because now we have something that we can help to market reassurances to our clients, and also for our own self, for our own safety, and for our own health. Okay, so back to a little bit about Spraygon. So Spraygon is an overspray extraction system. And one of the things that George has recently done, they've been in business for about a year now, and they have about 100, he has about 100 and 125 units out on the market, but he has just come up with a way to incorporate UVC filtration with this extraction system, which is going to protect your respiratory health, your client's respiratory health, and it's going to help with odor and everything else. So we're going to get into it when we invite him on here in a minute. We're going to be able to ask him questions. We will also be inviting Lindsay Bavins from Sunkist to also come on and visit with us. I'll turn her camera and her microphone on. We were able to gift one to Lindsay, and she's been using it for a while, so I want to get some of her feedback from her on what her experience has been like. And I also don't ever really want to move forward without at least sharing some testimony. Hey, Lindsay, it'll be just a minute. Without sharing some testimony from some clients that currently are using the system. So the one thing that I noticed by having these systems, and I've had these systems for over 8 years. In fact, I had George create them for me when I owned a beauty college, because they were just making a colossal mess in my school, and my students didn't want to do it anymore. It was stinking up the place. And when he created me the first Spraygon, I mean, I had to make 3 more, and I put them in my spas, and they've just been running and working like monsters, and I just finally got to get to a new unit. So I want to share with you from some of our clients what their experience has been like. So this is Sarah, and she's with Miss Teeny Tans, and I got the opportunity to ask her a question, so I want you guys to see what she says here. What is something about the Spraygon that you love the most?
I love how well it works, first and foremost. And then the second thing that I really love is it's super easy to keep clean. I can just wipe it down and in between tans. And I mean, you can't see the spray, the overspray on the sides. And it really draws in all the extra overspray and the powder.
And this is Whitney from Cowtown Tans in Austin, Texas. So tell me what it is you love the most about your Spraygon.
I love the, I guess, suction capacity of it. I mean, it's amazing. Even so, I do trainings as well, so I kind of get to show off the extraction machines to our students too. And my favorite thing is literally just like holding a powder brush up in front of the fans and just like waving it, and it just sucks straight into the filters. And I mean, it's amazing. Like, I have little to no overspray now. And I know what overspray was because of the other machine that we had. I mean, my room was covered in overspray all the time. So I have little to no overspray, and I just love how quiet it is compared to other like extraction machines too.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about marketing in the COVID age, because this is really important. How are we going to be successful at this time? Oh, this system, I tell you, it's also light. There we go. Well, first off, we got to go viral. I know, right? If we mean going viral, I promise you, I don't mean it's because I want you to go viral like icky sicky. I want you to go viral with your marketing, and I want you to go viral where you're able to position your guys' self in a way to be successful in the face of this time. Okay, so how are we going to do that? So first off, we're going to get a mouse that works. All right, so it begins with these 3 steps. First off, you got to reach out to your clients, and I know most of us have already been reaching out, texting, talking to our people, but we also need to remind them that we're still here for them, that spray tan services are still available to them. And we need to reassure them more than anything that this is a safe process for them to experience, that you understand what it takes to keep your environment clean and that you care about their respiratory health. Let's see. So you got to make sure that you share your story. So this, I can't say this enough. If you've got things that you can do to market yourself, to know that you offer sunless services in a COVID safe environment, inform them that you care about their respiratory health, inform them that you are keeping your surfaces clean, tell them how you're keeping your surfaces clean, and really reach out to them and use that to help generate interest to coming to you. Because I think people are still a little bit scared, okay? And then really it gets down to following those 3 R's to get to your riches. So when your clients come in, we can't say it enough, can't stress it enough, you need to rebook. And if you're still locked down and you're not, you are not marketing yourself at this time with retail, and I just want to reach out and give a big thank out to Lindsay, because she created the Quarantan. And she created these amazing kits that she retailed to her clients to be able to keep their tans going while she was shut down. And if you have not already set yourself up for an online streaming business for your sunless products to support your sunless services, this is the time to really get proactive with that. Look at your websites, make sure those things are activated so that the clients can order these things. Do curbside pickup, do drop off and delivery, or do shipping. And most importantly, create a referral and reviews program for your clientele. This cannot be stressed enough. Get your own hashtag. By the way, our hashtag at Bronzed and Beautiful is hashtag Get Your Bronzed On. Come up with a hashtag that your clients will use to post their after pictures. Give them incentives to check in with you when they're getting a spray tan. Even if you're a mobile spray tanner, get that Yelp page going, get that Google ad page going, and ask your clients, hey, while I'm here, would you do me a favor? Will you log on your phone? Will you quick check in with me that you're getting a spray tan with me? And then would you please post your picture and have a card ready for them. Hand them that card that's got the hashtag. That way they can link to your Instagram page, your Instagram stories, to your Facebook stories. It's super important to get your clientele super engaged, to share the quality of your services with the public. It is a really challenging time, and create a referrals incentives to them. So our referral program is if I get 3 referrals from you, you get a free spray tan. Because everybody has a sister, a bestie, or a mom, someone that they can refer to you to get a spray tan. And right now, the biggest hurdle that we're overcoming is, without events, why do I need to get a spray tan? So you have to start really considering how you're going to market to those clients. You need to remind them that this is, again, about that wellness, that they'll feel better with a little kiss of color. Maybe they're working from Zoom presentations. They still want to have that really pretty glow to their skin, makes their eyes pop, makes their hair pop. And so that pop of color is super important while they are quarantined themselves, even if they're working from home now, that there's no reason for them to stop getting their spray tans just because they're not going to go out and party this weekend, right? Especially for your brides, especially because right now, you used to get brides coming in, they would do a 2 or 3 spray tan run to get the right formula, and now they're trusting you and they're doing it the Thursday before the wedding. They're not doing those big runs anymore, but it is a good time to reach out for brides because October is such a big bridal month. And so if you follow those 3 R's, you can't help but become successful. So first, after their spray tan, before they get out that door, rebook them. Make sure they're getting some spray tan maintenance products to take care of that tan while it's curing and after it's cured. Make sure that they are engaged in your social media, that they're checking in, that they're giving you referrals, and they're giving you great reviews. And even if you get a not so great review, if you handle that professionally, you're going to grow clientele from that. So I want to just thank you guys, and I'm going to ask now, hang on here, I'm going to escape from this thing, and I'm going to come back to the big screen. So I want to ask George Mack, if you'll jump on here, if you'll turn your camera on for me and your microphone and pop in on me. And Lindsay, if you'll pop in on me also. There's going to be 3 of us here. Hi, everybody.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, hi. How are you?
Hey, guys. Hello, everyone.
Hey, listen. Okay.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, too. Okay, I'm going to pop through here, see if there's...
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, George.
Okay,
Hi,
so
Melinda.
hi, honey. How are you?
Good.
All right. So everybody, this is George Mack. He is with Spraygon. I'm just kind of reading through some of these comments here. Sorry about that. Oh, how about that? Hey, you guys, Christine Birchhold was awarded a grant money through her state, and she's going to use that for a unit. That's exciting.
That's awesome. That was, from what I understand, that was a grant specifically awarded to facilities in the health industry, health and beauty industry that were proactively doing things to combat COVID and create healthier environments for customers. And I'm just reading in the comments here that she got her grant. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
great.
good. So did everybody get to hear me through the presentation aside from the video?
Yeah.
Did everybody hear the video from the first video where I shared the commercial? Did you hear
There
it,
was
George?
no audio on the videos, Melinda.
There was no audio on the videos. We could see them, but we couldn't hear any of the audio.
I don't know what to do with Zoom. Do you guys? I'm telling you.
We'll
Okay,
post
so
them later, though. You know, we've got actually a sizzle reel with the interviews that we've done over the last month with customers that we're going to be putting together, and so those full interviews will be available. We've got a YouTube channel that we just launched that's going to have interviews on there, and then other stuff that we're putting on there, including our step-by-step UV upgrade installation video. And we're going to be putting videos on there on how to swap out a fan if you have a warranty issue, if a fan goes out, and how to maintain your systems on our YouTube channel.
Yep. So Lindsay, we're checking in with Lindsay. So everybody meet Lindsay Bavins from Sunkist.
Nice to meet you.
And Sunkist Glow Bunny is where you're going to find her on Instagram and on Facebook. And so, Lindsay, you kind of came up with the Quarantani thing. So tell us a little bit about that. What you did there, because I think everybody listening would really benefit from that.
So basically what we did was when quarantine had happened, obviously, just like all of you, I got extremely nervous and was sitting around wondering, what am I going to do? What are we going to do with these clients that are going to want tans and not be able to get them? So I got with my sister, we started talking, whatever, and I said, I know that self-tanning is a scary thing in our industry because we think that will take our clients away. But what if I got with my distributor and we figured out how I can take my custom mixes and make it into a mousse, and my clients can just feel like they're getting a Sunkist spray tan? So me and her, got together and we did that. And that's when I bought a few bottles, decided to make up little kits. I made sure they had their lotion that was spray tan safe, their glow bar, a mitt, all of the things that they needed for their kits. And I went and I knew they were going to be too nervous to come to the salon. So I delivered them, all hand delivered them, and it made it a very personal feeling as well. So it was great. So
tell us, okay, everybody just sit down and hold on to your seats. How many did you think you were going to sell, and how many did you sell?
So my first purchase was for 50 bottles. And I said, okay, let's see, this will probably get us through half of it. And then my second purchase ended up being 100 bottles. And almost every week we sold 100 bottles. So I can say, pushing, say, 500 bottles during quarantine we sold.
Wow.
And you guys know, Mondo can vouch for it.
So
it was amazing.
I just want you guys to know that with a little bit of ingenuity and a little bit of creativity, if you're still locked down somewhere, you guys, because I don't have the list anymore on who still is. I know that I've heard that California still is. I know that Tennessee only opened up 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago. So Tennessee had been closed down the whole time for services. So I know there's a lot of states that are still shut down where you're not allowed to give services or get services. So if you're in that position, be creative because it can
Yes.
change for you. Now, at that time, we got to actually go across country, and George and I got to surprise you. Lindsay Bavins. Oh, so George, tell everybody about Lindsay and what she means to us
That was an
besides the
amazing
world.
experience. Lindsay, for all of you that are logged on, if you didn't watch the interview with her, Lindsay was our very first stranger danger customer, is what I call it, because I had built these systems privately for colleagues and graduates from Melinda's Academy that had come to her for training, and they had seen our systems in our spa and loved them so much that they wanted them. So I had built them privately, a handful here and there. And when we finally got to the point where we were ready to bring this onto the market, Lindsay was our very first customer. She took a chance on it, on an unknown company, based on some referrals that she got. And she got the very first unit, which was actually the first unit I had ever built for Melinda's school, that we refurbished with some new components and sold it off to her. And she'd been using it since last year for a year. And Lindsay, you've just been such an amazing ambassador for us. You love the system. You talk about it all the time in your posts, and you're really proactive with in the pro groups, talking about extraction, how wonderful the systems have been for you and for your health. And we couldn't think of anybody that we wanted to give back to in the industry than someone who took a chance on us and has been so instrumental in our success and being such a great ambassador. So we were able to present her the very first UV unit that we built, and the new twin fan system with the new chassis and everything. So it was a real wonderful surprise to be able to come out and do that for you.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
So how has it been working with this new system, and do you feel like the UVC has made any real impact on your day-to-day working with it?
So I think it's great. I didn't think that people would notice the UVC without me posting about it, but it's amazing how many clients, when they're facing backwards towards the booth, they go, "Oh, Linz, are those the UVC lights?" And it gives me a chance to explain to them, yes, they are. And you're actually, self-sanitizing right now. And it's like the talk of the town right now. Lindsay has the system with the UVC lights. She's definitely a safe place to go for get your spray tans.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And that was really the goal, was to provide something for the industry that nobody's doing. Nobody's thought really about spray tan health in the 10 years I've been in the business, which is why we created the Spraygon, mainly for respiratory. And now here comes along COVID-19, and it's tossed everybody on their head. And what happens next year when there's COVID-20? What happens the year after when there's COVID-21? I mean, friends, this is something that's impacted society and life as we know it. And I think is going to be a factor in the business going forward. So we've got to be at the forefront of technology in bringing systems to the market that will provide for respiratory health and will provide for viral health and create a healthy environment in your studios. And that's what we tried to accomplish with the UV.
And I think, I'm proud to say that I believe you have done that, George. I do. I would like to invite anybody else who is on now. If you guys have questions, you can post them in the chat. We just have about 18 of us remaining, so I don't even have a problem if you guys don't have a problem with putting on your cameras and your microphones. No. You guys want to come on screen with us? And
Melinda, yeah. I know Ashley Hartman had a question.
Okay.
She's messaging me, but I had to get on this. Ashley, if you're on.
And I've got a really great, for all of you that are hanging in here, just if you're going to hang in and ask the Q&A, I'm happy to answer your questions. I've got a really great discount code for everybody that took the time to sit in on the seminar today. I hope that you learned some things. I learned a few good things from Melinda's presentation as far as the UVA and UVB that I was unaware of. So we're going to have a discount code. I'm going to give it to you here in just a couple of minutes after we get through the Q&A, okay?
Okay, so Ashley, what was your question?
How are these for mobile? How much do they weigh? Is it, I'm mobile right now, but eventually I do want to get a brick and mortar.
So the Spraygon is really designed to be more of a studio system. However, it is portable in the sense that, it's built on a rollaway case, so you can easily tilt it back and roll it where you want to. Melinda will attest, she's we've taken ours in the we've got a Ford Flex. I throw it in the Ford Flex, taken ours to pageants,
Okay.
competitions.
Take mine everywhere. It's
Pardon?
super lightweight, and I'm 5
That's
foot
what I
nothing.
told her.
Yeah, I'm
We
5
have
foot
some
nothing, and I
customers-
can.
Yeah.
I told her,
her,
me
I'm
and you are
like-
mini humans.
I told Lindsay I'm like the trunch bull. It won't be a big deal for me. Lift it, so
It's
no big deal.
You have a minivan?
yeah.
I need one, but no. Right now I have a hatchback Subaru Impreza. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
Oh, it
It's
should
really
fit in
not
there. It should
ideal
fit in there.
for truly mobile techs. I mean, obviously a 10 is really convenient. You can throw it in the trunk of your
Right.
car in the back seat. But what we do have customers using the Spraygon for is group sessions. So when they have a wedding party or they have a dance team or any place that they're going to have more than 4 or 5, 6 clients at the destination they're going, they'll throw the Spraygon in the van and drive it over there with that, because ultimately it's easier for them to deal with and clean up and store away than having to pop their tent up when they get home and hose it out.
Oh gosh, yes.
And does anyone else want to pop on and ask a question? You're so welcome to join us. So I know
can't
this
see
is a
the
little
left.
unorthodox, but if you've got your camera and you want to click it on and unmute your microphone, you guys are absolutely welcome to come on. And in the meantime, George, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're offering to the people who have been part of this, us sharing this information with them.
Okay, so, some of you may know we just had our first anniversary. We had a big promotion and we launched our UV Pro system with an upgraded chassis. We've made leaps and bounds in the design of the unit, and we really feel right now that we've got it at a point where it is an amazingly durable system. We've redesigned the chassis, we've redesigned the filter boxes to give it a better weight distribution on the unit. It added a little bit of weight with what we did, but the system is still under 100 pounds. And the way it's designed, you're never really lifting the full weight of the unit. You're sliding it around, or you're pushing it around on the wheels, or putting one end into the vehicle and then lifting the other end. So you're never really lifting the entire 100 pounds. So it's very easy to maneuver and slide in and out of vehicles. The discount code, I'm going to just go ahead and put up the discount code here for you, because I know you guys are probably all waiting. I see Brittany Shaw, she got hers a couple of weeks ago. She loves it, super easy to clean. Great to hear from you, Brittany. I'm so happy to hear that you're happy with your system. We love hearing from everyone that, they just love the performance of the machine overall.
I know, and look at
the other
Absolutely.
factors, and the versatility, the easy cleaning, just really hits it out of the park with Sim. So I'm going to hold this up so you guys can all see.
It minimizes the
so
smell
This
too.
is what we're offering right now, okay? For those of you that come into the Sunless Tanning and you sat through this entire seminar with us, we're giving you our same deal we had for our first anniversary, okay? This is only available for those of you who've logged in. Please don't share the code. Although if you do have a Sunless technician who is very interested in getting one, I don't mind that you do. But this is really our thank you for you guys sitting in on the session and getting a little information. So it's SDProf 20. You're going to get free UV upgrade and free shipping. So that's about an $800 value. And the reason why we're doing this right now is because we want to get these UV systems out into the industry and get people working with them so they can share and talk about what they're doing to help combat viruses. And flu season's right around the corner. So I think that it would be a really great advantage for you to be able to have a UV system that you can talk about and market in your spot.
Well, we just got a message here from Francie saying that her Spraygon is truly the best one that she's used on the market. So thank you so much for that, Francie. And then also, it looks like, okay, Audrey, oh, you've got the code there, okay.
That code, Audrey, actually, if you get on our website right now, the UVC upgrade for our existing customers is $349. It's on sale for $50 off. They're $399. We're still finishing up some details on the step-by-step installation video for you to be able to install that yourself. But it will be, and we're taking pre-orders right now on those kits. We've sold, I think, half a dozen of those kits to existing Spraygon customers. You can retrofit your existing Studio Pro Twin with this UV lighting system. And we're creating a step-by-step installation video so you can do it yourself and upgrade your systems.
Okay, so Valerie had a question. She says the coupon doesn't take any money off. So here's what it is. So Valerie, normally the Studio Pro UVC system is $28.99. And so what we're doing is we're giving you the traditional Studio Pro without the UV for what is the price on that, George?
The UV Pro is $28.99. The Studio Pro is $23.99. They're both the same system, built on the same chassis. They have all the same components. The difference between the two is the UV Pro has UV lighting, sanitation lighting installed in it, whereas the Studio Pro doesn't. So when you get on the website and use the code, that code is going to be taking about $500 off your purchase.
And giving you the free shipping.
Giving you the UV upgrade for free. And then you select free shipping on checkout. That's going to be active for only about a week. So you've got about a week to make that purchase. Now, if you can't make the purchase right now, you can always choose the layaway option. $250 deposit locks in the sale price. So give us a message. You can get on the website, take that $250. There's an item there that you can purchase the $250 layaway. It'll capture your information. We'll follow up with you. You can send us, well, I was sitting in on the interview, the seminar, and this is the code that you gave us for the discount. And we'll create and follow up an invoice with you for a 0 interest 6-month layaway that you can make payments on your unit.
Yeah, we know it's tough out there, you guys. So, being able to make payments without having the, interest compounding and all those things and not having to run up your credit card, that's a really generous gift, George. And then again, for those of you who currently have a UV or already have a Studio Twin Pro, you can purchase the UV upgrade kit and it's on special. You said $349 and free shipping.
Yeah, the UVC upgrade kit for existing Spraygon owners is on sale right now. We're taking pre-orders. This is a pre-sale. We're getting our orders together through the month of September, putting in our order, and those kits will be sent out mid-October. And then along with that will come a link to a step-by-step installation video. I'm seeing a question from Kristen, do we add the UV to the regular unit in the cart? No, when you're making your purchase online, just select the UV Pro if you want the UV system. Use your code. It's only good. The code is only good on the UV system.
The UV Pro, the UVC Pro. UVC Pro.
Yeah.
Yes. Not the Twin Studio Pro.
The discount code won't work on the Studio Pro Twin because we're giving you the UV lighting upgrade for free, basically. Free shipping right now is available for any purchase on the website for the next week. So if you're sitting in on this and you're not sold on whether or not the UV is something that you want to have in your studio, or if you think it's gimmicky or whatever it is you happen to think about UV, you can still get our Studio Pro for the $23.99 with free shipping. So that's going to save you.
Lindsay, you mentioned something about the odor. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you were saying on that.
I was going to say, because when you were just talking, I didn't want to interrupt. I'm sorry. But I wanted to tell you girls too, what I found is it's great for marketing as well. You know how everybody has like a selfie station or, that they take pictures at? Because, I'm all over Instagram with the cheekiest posts. Love them all. You got to draw attention. You got to keep the clients coming. So the way that the system is set up, because you can customize them, I literally take pictures in front of it and it looks like a selfie station. And the girls come in, take pictures and tag the salon. It's amazing. It just shows it.
Oh, wonderful.
The custom graphics upgrade is a really great way to market yourself. I always highly recommend that you do it just because it puts you up in another professional level. When people come in and walk into your studio and you've got a customized system, you've made an instant brand impression on it. And guess what? They're looking at that through the entire service. So when you see something like that, it gets ingrained in your subconscious and you make an incredible brand impression. I know that we're doing more and more of the custom systems. I love to see them. I love to get to see the creativity. Miss Steenie, Sarah Thurston put together an incredible one with her Miss Steenie graphics. We had such a fun time with Sierra, getting your graphics together too, going back and forth with the art department.
Oh, she's amazing. If anybody needs a good website, girl, Sierra is amazing. Another thing, George, I wanted to say is the customers find, so you know how we all use setting powder because it helps obviously dry the tan. So I use like a pest duster and I put my powder in it and then I just pump it, okay? And it obviously sprays onto the client. The clients love watching the fact that it just sucks it up into the machine. They're like, Linz, that is so satisfying to know that that's not hitting anyone's lungs. It's just crazy. The way that it minimizes the smell as well.
Yeah.
Well, and last night I got a spray tan. Yes, ladies, this is tan for me.
It's not your quarantine boo.
I got my quarantine boo. But George gave me a spray tan. We tried a new solution out, and I think I like it. I think I'm going to keep doing it.
Good on you.
Yeah, and that was the one thing that I was watching him. So I get to spray tan people all the time. But I never really get to stand. This is the first time I got to stand in front of our studio twin. And I was shocked. Like, I normally, when I'm spray tanning people, even with my other system, I could see the color guide on the paper that they were on, right? But I looked down this time and I saw almost zero color guide on my paper. And he went to like pick up the powder off the paper to dry my feet, and there wasn't any. So I was like,
good job, George.
We use 1 tablespoon of powder. That's all we use, because
it really is a visual thing too. You know, when your clients come in and they're standing in front of that backdrop and they see the powder whooshing by them, or the solution, you know, getting sucked up into that system, it gives them peace of mind. They know, hey man, this is awesome. It's not making a cloud in here. I can't tell you how many people would come into our day spa, and one of the first things they would comment about is how clean it was. Wow, I can't believe how clean it is in here. It doesn't even smell like you guys do spray tans in here. And then you walk into the actual studio and it's super clean, and they're just amazed. Some of the horror stories we have, there was solution dripping off the ceiling onto my head, or they stepped off their towel and their feet turned black because the floor was covered in solution. It's the number one thing that people would talk about coming into our spas, how clean their service was, and they couldn't believe how amazingly detailed and clean it was. And we attributed
and you guys, and that's why, and I'm in an industry where I'm licensed and I'm governed by OSHA. So when the salon and spa industry got quarantined with it, we were livid, and we were livid for a reason, because we follow health and safety guidelines at such a high level. We just thought, why are you shutting us down? And this is my big fear, is that why I'm so really committed to sharing with Sunless Tanners how important it is to keep your surfaces clean, your filters clean, and really keeping things clean, and using really good disinfecting systems that you can get, the best that you can get, because it will set you apart from the ones that don't, and society will correct them. They won't retain clients when they can find out they can get it from you at a fraction of, without putting their health in jeopardy. So
that's just the thing in today's market. It's all about,
got to be mindful
awareness and mindful of being health conscious, because even though everybody has different opinions on things, especially when it comes to politics, religion, and things like that. And COVID seems to be one of those things that you're either in one camp or you're in another.
When really, in fact, you kind of froze up there, George. Really, in fact, we're all in the COVID camp.
Yeah.
We're all in the COVID camp. But it is, George, you're frozen at this wonderful, like, I don't think you can hear me, but isn't this, everybody, let's be George.
Francie says that she loves watching the powder disappear in the unit, and
yeah,
that they feel like they invested in their safety as well. It's so true.
It's so true. But you guys, we want to thank you so much for coming on. I just, I think I'll just text George that he's frozen, because I don't think he realizes. There you go. We will have this edited and do a replay for everybody, so that you will be welcome to share with your Sunless friends. I will make it available for you to share, because it will be a link to our YouTube channel. And I'll make sure that those videos that we had in the presentation that we're not playing with verbiage, I'll make sure you guys can hear those. I promise you that. That'll be my commitment to you. I'll get that done before the end of the day. And I just want to thank everybody so much for coming out and talking to us, because
yes, thank you, Melinda, for hosting.
Oh, thank
you very much.
I even learned some things today that I didn't know about UVA and UVB wavelengths. Lindsay, Thanks so much. Wonderful to see you again.
Good to see you
Congrats on
guys.
the birthday.
We miss
of the
you.
little girl. I was looking at your photos yesterday.
Oh, Ariel's party.
I was what an you guys look like you had a blast. It was a lot of fun. And thank you to everyone for taking the time to log on today. I
And
see
we can't wait to see you
Karen
guys
from the
in
Street
person.
Platform, got in here late. Hi, Taryn. How are you? Thanks so much for dropping in. And everyone, the discount code again for participating today, you're going to get that free UVC and free shipping. It's SD Prof for Aesthetic Professor, and it is the year 2020. So SD Prof 20. Thank you guys so much.
All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Lindsay, have an amazing day.
Bye,
And
everyone.
thank you.